Hi, my name is Al and I'm with Above and Beyond Creative Sewing, and today I'm going to be showing you how to do a rolled hem on a dinner napkin using the Babylock Triumph serger and cover stitch machine. Today we're going to be using the serger feature, namely the rolled hem feature, to work on a dinner napkin. So I went ahead and took my cotton fabric and cut it in an 18-inch square, and to finish it I'm going to put a rolled hem on the edge. So let's go ahead and get our machine set up for rolled edge. So there's no thread in the machine right now, so I'll show you how to thread it. All the Babylock sergers come with this quick reference guide, and on this page we find the 3-thread overlock rolled edge. So we simply go through the settings that are listed here to set it up for the 3-thread rolled edge. So let's go ahead and do that. The first thing we notice here is that it's asking for the right needle, or needle number 2, to be in place. So I've already gone ahead and done that, and the right needle is in place right here. Our length should be 0.75 to 4 R for rolled. So you turn this dial until you get to that 0.75 mark. I'm going to actually put it right there. And our width should be 3.5, so you turn this dial until it lines up with the 3.5. Our stitch selector, which is our tension, should be set to D for a rolled edge. And our wave and overlock selector should be set to overlock. Now, because we're not using a chain stitch to do the rolled edge, I don't have to worry about my chain looper or my chain needle tension. That's only when we're doing chain or cover stitch. For the next selection here, we need our upper looper selector to be set in the up position, just like that. And our knife blade should also be up. We should also be using our knife cover, not our cover stitch cover. So let's go ahead and get the machine threaded. Really simple to thread the Babylock Triumph. You simply turn this lever to threading, and then you turn the hand wheel until the jet air pipes engage. Once it's all engaged, I can now do my loopers. So make sure your presser foot is in the up position before you thread. Bring your upper looper thread down, and everything is clearly marked here: upper looper, lower looper, needles, everything. I find the end of the thread and pop it right into the upper looper port. Hopefully you can see that. And press this push to thread loopers button. The thread will tighten right up, and then I'm going to pull a longer length out, and the upper looper thread is through the looper now. So I didn't have to use tweezers or anything to get this done. It just does it automatically. It's so simple. Next we'll do our lower looper. Once again, I'm going to bring the thread down into the lower looper guide. Bring the end of the thread into the lower looper port, which is marked with an L. And I'm going to push the button again, and it tightened right up. I'm going to pull a nice long length out, and there is my lower looper thread. So that was pretty easy to thread those loopers. So let's go ahead and do the needle next. Since I'm using the O2 needle, I just look up here and find the O2 thread. Bring my thread down into the needle guide right here, and then follow the path this way, just like I was threading a sewing machine. And then I'm going to take the end of the thread and thread the needle. Now the Babylock Triumph has a great needle threader that's built in. So I simply have to line up the end of the needle with the end of the thread with the needle itself, push a button. Oops, I was wrapped around the foot. Let me lower that. Push this button and it'll pull the thread right through the eye of the needle. So it's all done. So I didn't have to look for the eye of the needle or anything. The machine did it for me. Once again, Babylock thought of everything. The needle threader is fantastic. You don't have to see the eye of the needle. It just makes everything so much easier. So once I have the machine all set up for serging, I'm going to go ahead and lift this lever back up to serging, close my doors, and now I'm ready to do my rolled hem. Now, of course, whenever I do a serger project, I want to see what it looks like before I actually stitch it on my fabric. So I'm going to put a piece of fabric in and just test it out. And I'm going to look for the distance and see if it's too tight or too loose. And I think that looks a little bit too tight, so I'm going to bring this up a little bit. Much better. Okay, well then that means I am ready to go. So let's get our dinner napkin. Put this right under the foot. Lift the foot with your finger just to slide it under. Get it right under that knife. And we are ready to serge. We're doing a rolled hem. And there is my finished edge. Really came out beautiful. So I'm going to do all 4 sides next, and I'm just going to simply go over all 4 sides. And then I might take just a little bit of no fray or fray check and pop it right on the corners to keep the threads from unraveling. And then my dinner napkin is done. So that's how you do a rolled hem on the Babylock Triumph. Of course, the Babylock Triumph does all kinds of stitches. You can do all your overedge stitches, overlock, 4-thread, 3-thread, flat lock, blanket stitch. You can use this machine to do cover stitch, chain stitch, 3-thread cover stitch. You can use this machine to do serger binding. So if you want to bind a quilt with this machine, you use the fusible thread on the underside looper, on the lower looper, and then you can do your serger binding with this machine. So there's just so much you can do with it. So if you want a little bit more information on it, you want a demonstration, please come into Above and Beyond Creative Sewing. We will sit with you and we'll show you how to use the machine. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.